Hey, remember back in '93 when Ryan thought Shockmaster was going to be a future world champion?
The modern day wrestling god! What?
And that's why, Jack, you're so smart.
Now back to Jack and Ryan on the MonsterCast.
There it goes. Okay, my bad. I had to double tap it. All right, this is from @Alexios Malaka. I hate it when I see people compare the AEW audience to the ECW fans. There's a gigantic difference between the two. ECW fans would cheer passionately for what was good, but they'd also boo you out of the building if it was trash. AEW fans cheer like little kids on a short bus passing McDonald's no matter what they're watching. Huge difference. All right. So before I let you take the reins on this one, and I'll let you think and brainstorm of what you want to say here, I could not disagree more. I've been on record on this show many times saying that AEW is the closest thing to ECW becoming big time that we'll ever get. Like, if ECW would have succeeded, this is what it would have become. It's a variety wrestling show with hardcore passionate fans that know what the fuck they're talking about for the most part and love the backstage stuff and the inside the scenes type stuff, right? So this is the closest. They have no problem purchasing merchandise for the people that they like. They have no problem fucking showing up for events. They're pretty close-knit and get along for the most part until they keep growing, of course. More, I mean, people argue about AEW stuff all the time, but we're all pretty much in this together type deal. What I disagree with him the most about this is the fact that AEW fans cheer for everything. I'm sorry. Are you familiar with Cody Rhodes? Are you familiar with Sammy Guevara?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with two of their baby faces that they tried to push to the moon that they booed so badly that they had to turn them, or one had to leave the company? Two, I would like to say that at the end of the exploding barbed wire death match, did the fans not immediately turn on that fucking finish? Did we just cheer vehemently about fucking, oh yeah, that was so good, the sparklers went off? No. What the fuck is this guy talking about? People in AEW boo shit that they don't like all the time.
Also, thinking back to watching ECW, when they were booing, it was the shit that you were supposed to boo at. It was heels doing heel shit. If there was just like a trash match, they weren't like, boo, this match sucks. They were just quieter or didn't really care. It wasn't like they were passionately rejecting something that was bad. They just weren't as invested in it.
Well, that's true for the original ECW. When we put the original ECW fans in a WWE-esque environment, then you got the stuff with change the channel between Batista and fucking Big Show chants, right? Because that's not what ECW was. At One Night Stand, they booed all the WWE guys because that's not what ECW was. All right, so I will say that they did boo some stuff in ECW that way, but it wasn't to the degree that this guy is acting like, right? So they did boo Tommy Dreamer's original character because he was just a pretty boy until he became the hardcore guy that everybody knew and loved, and then they never turned on Tommy Dreamer again. Like, they got behind him and they pushed him kind of like WWE fans did with Daniel Bryan. All right? So I strongly disagree with this. This is such a trash take. It's almost like he didn't watch ECW. The only time that they booed or said anything negative was you fucked up when they botched a move.
Right.
Which they do in AEW as well, by the way.
And it wasn't booing them. It was more just like they're
acknowledging that they know that they fucked up, yeah.
ECW fans, to me, old ECW, always felt like they were trying to be part of the show. And sometimes that meant cheering for shit that wasn't actually that good. So I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about. The other thing is, AEW fans, like the couple examples you mentioned are true. But also they tend to just like not have reactions when they don't want when something happens they don't like or don't think is good or whatever. When you watch the Guns win the belts, it wasn't like, boo, this fucking sucks, like whatever. But it was just like it got quiet. It was like dead in there. Because the fans were just like, why the fuck?
Which is what AEW was going for. By the way, I will say this. We're talking about ECW, who traveled to, what, 3 cities on a consistent basis?
Oh, yeah.
AEW is going to the entire U.S., has gone to Canada, is going to London. if you just nitpick the 3 cities that they're known for, like Chicago, right? Chicago, New York, and we'll say Jacksonville, obviously, right? If we pick those 3 cities as the 3 cities of AEW, like you did with New York, Philly, and fuck if I know, something else in Pittsburgh, maybe they ran a lot in. They also ran Chicago a few times as well as on pay-per-view. If you're nitpicking the cities that would be the loudest, is what we should be going off of anyway if you're going to compare the AEW audience to the ECW audience, and it's exactly the same.
Yeah, and the other thing, there is something to be said for running shows in markets that will be more excited that you're there at all. So even if something's not great, they might have a more positive reaction or whatever. But acting like AEW, just fucking AEW fans just cheer everything that happens. It's so fucking stupid. There's been a lot of booking decisions. There's been a lot of character direction. There's been a lot of like dead reactions to people or debuts or whatever. It's fucking dumb.
Do you remember cheering for the Nightmare Collective?
Oh yeah, they were my favorite, bro. Like
they were so over. They got such loud reaction.
They were so uninteresting to the AEW fans who apparently cheer everything that they got 0 reactions to the point that they had to cut that storyline off in the fucking middle of the storyline and just be like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore.
Do you remember the sweet reaction that Butcher and Blade got on their debut?
Because
we just cheer everything.
The fuck they were, yeah. Or even when Hater first came back, nobody really realized who it was either, and her reaction was pretty dead.
That was more because no one. I mean, she had a huge transformation too, though.
Yeah, she looked way.
I mean, she was not going to get the reaction that everybody, that they were expecting, but that had something to do with it as well, I believe.
Or the whole fucking swerve. Just recently, the swerve thing with Parker Boudreaux and Trench or whoever the fuck, they're already gone because they weren't getting shit for a reaction either. So then it was like, all right, well, we're gonna put Swerve with the Embassy instead, and we'll see how that works. Fuck these guys. Like that's just so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's such a bad take, and it was one of the few that didn't involve something else that we talked about on the show already in length. So I was like, dude, I gotta put this on the show. This is such a bad thing because I've always said that this is the closest to ECW being in the big time that we'll ever get, and then this guy literally says the opposite, and I'm like, dude, did you ever even watch ECW? Do you even watch AEW right now? It's such a bad take.
Do you remember passionately cheering for for Trench and Parker Boudreaux a few months ago?
I got their t-shirts already. I wasted my money because they dropped the storyline.
Absolutely.
No, I didn't even know who the fuck Trench was. We didn't even know his name till 3 weeks later. How the fuck are we supposed to...
know who Trench is?
I knew him better in baseball than I did in fucking AEW. Terrible. That's a terrible take. And MJF has something he wants to say for your terrible take, Alexios.
You don't know shit! Your opinions suck! You fucking mark!
Yes. Get some.
Hey guys, did you like that video? If so, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can also catch full episodes of the MonsterCast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And you can also catch us live every Sunday on Twitch. All links in the description below, along with some sweet merch from yours truly, the MonsterCast. Deuces.